Ravi Shankar, Joint Secretary with the Department of IT, who has also worked in the education sector in different capacities. Professor Maitri, Dean Management Development Institute, Gurgaon. Dr. R.P. Singh, Vice Chancellor of Sharda University. Mr. M.B. Narayanan, Chairman of the whole society which is organizing this activity, Center for Science and Development and Media Studies. Professor Prem Rath, former director of IIT and very eminent professor of engineering. Distinguished vice chancellors of technical universities and other universities who are present here. Members from the corporate, members from the IT sector, other delegates, national and international delegates, attending this very important interactive session on higher education, on quality and excellence in higher education. First of all, let me congratulate the ALETS Technomedia, spearheaded by Mr. Ravi Gupta and the entire team, for arranging activities, unique activities of this kind. For the last 5 years, I have been interacting with this forum, and this forum is quite different. For example, if you just look at the panel over here, we can see definitely education, information and communication technology, government, private, civil society organization, Mr. M.B. Narayanan, and Ministry of Labor and Employment. So when we talk about a higher education conference, as Dr. R.P. Singh earlier mentioned, we only usually used to see the so-called higher academics in the higher education summit. It is high time that we change that profile of our interactive forums. And that is one thing which I notice about this particular forum, whether it be digital learning, e-health, or e-governance, anything. The 5 points which have been identified by the organizing committee for this session, for this conference, is imperatives for institutes to uphold or to upgrade excellence in higher education, role of technology in promotion of quality in education, policies and best practices that will help create excellence in education, opportunities in promoting skill-centric education, and open and distance learning technologies in bringing about education outreach. So, of course, when we conduct this particular conference in India, we are definitely thinking about this country, but we cannot just, we have to definitely concentrate on our developmental policies, developmental perspectives. But we should also understand whatever education, whatever skill development we are thinking, that is of global standards. Because I think Ms. Sharda Prasad mentioned about it. In the 75th year of Indian independence, that is 2022, when we envisioned that 500 million youth to be educated and skilled in this country, these youth are not going to work in India alone. They will be the global workforce, because many of the developed countries at that time will have an aged population, and the working population, the working youth would be from this country or mainly from China, and from India maximum, because even now we are having the maximum youth population, not China, because China has an aged population also. And therefore, when we look at education, when we look at knowledge, when we look at skills, when we look at employment, we have to look at globally transferable, globally acceptable, internationally accredited skills and related things. And therefore, there need to be lot of flexibility in our approaches in designing such education and skill development activities. In the area of education, what is happening is the vocabulary of education is changing very fast. The challenge before us, and that could be true of any highly populated, fastly developing country. The challenge before us is to scale up education, definitely. Scale up education at all levels, right from school education to university education, and even research. We need large number of researchers also. And in the process of scaling up, we should definitely emphasize the importance of quality. And therefore, how information and communication technology can enhance the quantity of education delivery without compromising the quality of education which is happening. That is the challenge. I have been a teacher for the last 41 years. 40 years I have been teaching in the university system. Whatever target we place for enhancing the reach of education, for example, we talk about gross enrollment ratio. That is the first point which you have mentioned. That is reach of education. For several plans we have been hearing, enhancing the gross enrollment ratio from, maybe I'm talking about 1970s, from 5% to 10%, 8% to 15%, 8% to 12%, like that. I think it is almost 6 or 7 plans I'm telling. This targeting of a particular percentage of gross enrollment ratio, it has not really worked. We have just, of course, we have enhanced. Now it is almost 12% from maybe for the last 35, 40 years, now it's 12%. Why? Why only this very, very slow increase? Because if we do not improve the quality of the teaching learning process in the classroom, no students will come, the quantity will not enhance. That is the problem. So, when we use new technologies, information and communication technologies, the first and foremost challenge before us is to enhance the quality of the teaching learning process in the classroom. And if we enhance the quality of the teaching learning process in the classroom through technology, technology can do it. We know it for certain. And when it really happens, the quantity will automatically increase. That is the personal experience, that is the experience of all the teachers in our system, no doubt about it. Now, the country is aggressively, our country is, desirably, aggressively looking at enhancing the quantity of education delivery. By 2020, we are even trying to target the world average, maybe around 30, 40% and all that. If that has to happen, of course, government or all of us are working for that. Creating universities, several 10,000s of colleges more, enhancing the reach of education through technology, all these policies and lot of investments are happening. And therefore, how information and communication technology, then the satellite technologies, all these things can enhance the quality of the teaching learning process. So what is required in that? As a chemistry teacher, I should know how information and communication technology can enhance the teaching of chemistry. As a school teacher, the school teacher should know how a concept in thermodynamics which cannot be explained by any other means can be explained by information and communication technology. How a minus 273 degree centigrade can be really shown. These are all things happening in individual isolated classrooms even now in our country. But this has to be part and parcel of every teacher. And therefore, while integrating information and communication technology, what is required is discipline-based ICT pedagogy, subject-based ICT pedagogy. How a sociology teacher can use information and communication technology to describe the ramifications of sociology. How an economics teacher can make use of technology, how a mathematics teacher. So that is when we think about the marriage of information and communication technology to education, this is the first and foremost thing which we have to look at. And therefore, a teacher should be able to make use of technology to explain the concept very effectively. And when the quality of the teaching learning process is enhanced, automatically the quantity will enhance. And now, Information and Ministry of Information Technology. We have a national e-governance plan. Of course, recently the Ministry of IT also started a massive IT literacy program for the country. Several initiatives, Mr. Ravi Shankar mentioned about it. The National Mission of Education through ICT. It is a mission now. Several thousand crores are allocated for that. And it is for teachers. It is for teachers to avail these projects. I am also a member, we are all members in this mission, in this body. And what is happening even in that, it's not a criticism, only technology teachers, only engineering or technology teachers, they think that technology can be. But we should, a primary school teacher should avail a project from the National Mission for ICT. A good science, good language teacher, Indian language teacher, they should avail a project how his or her language can be taught. A college teacher or a university teacher teaching English or any language, he should avail a project how, along with language teaching, information and communication technology can help him in developing a software for machine translation from one language to another. That means, along with the language studies, our students should be able to understand how information and communication technology is important in translation. And translation is a very, very important thing in a country like India, all over the world. Translation is very important. A translation mission is proposed by the National Knowledge Commission, translation repository, bringing the literatures. This is very important. And the third important point, which is also mentioned in this thing, I think Mr. Sharda Prasad, who has been working in this area, he has highlighted that point. Linking education with employment. And linking education with employment in a systematic way. And in this connection, it is very important to note that point he mentioned about the national education and skills qualification framework. Now, many countries call it skills and qualification framework. Skills and qualification. It's not just going to be degree linked. What is expected? How the modular skills. How a person who has been skilled and got an ITI certificate, he can come to the top. Of course, we have to talk about that particular pyramid. We have to strengthen the base of the pyramid at top with large number of skills and basic requirements of education and skill. And then at a higher level certification. Then at a higher level certification, and the top of the pyramid, maybe the PhDs or anything. And therefore, there should